Hello everyone, this is Samet from Chico Hospital for Cats podcast, and I have with me my dear friend and co-worker, Bre Bigay.
Hi guys.
So, today we have a very interesting topic that we chose to talk about because it is the month for dogs, I think, to be walked. Walk your dog
National
month.
Walk Your Pet Month, I believe.
Is it pet,
I think
not
it's
dogs?
pet.
Okay, so we figured out maybe we should do an episode about walking your cat, because more and more harnesses and leash and cat walks are getting popular, and so we figured out we can talk about it and maybe share some personal experiences as well. But also we have the source of an article from HuffPost.com from a person that is a behavior consultant at Best Friends Animal Society, and her name is Sherry Woodard, so we're gonna be quoting her as well. But anyways, Bre, would you like to start with our exciting topic here?
So, leashes aren't just for dogs anymore. That's kind of what you think of when you first hear about taking an animal for a walk as a dog, not so much cats. But as Sam mentioned, it is becoming more commonplace to see cats out in strollers or on leashes and harnesses. And it's a really great way to enrich your pet's life. A lot of cats like to go outside. The smells are different, the sounds are different. They love to roll around in the grass. If you ever had a cat outside, that's generally what they first do. They'll roll all over it. They can scratch the trees outside, and it just, exposes them to new sensory input, which really stimulates their mind. And with kitties who are indoor a lot, or our house cats who don't get as much enrichment as, outdoor animals do. So this really kind of stimulates their mind.
Yeah, both their mind and their instinct, I guess, right? Because they have the instinct of being alert and looking around and kind of like be on their toes.
Yeah, a little bubble.
Yeah, and I just feel like this is such an important topic when especially you live in a very busy, populated area. Especially one of the things that I just can't stand and absolutely hate is the car accidents and all that stuff. Yeah. So this is a very, very safe, perfect way for some cats to get that fresh air and some adventures out of it.
Absolutely.
So the other benefit to this also is that for some cats, walking the cat could transform a scaredy cat into a cool cat. Because more and more, if the cat starts exploring the surroundings and have a chance to sniff around and kind of like enlarge their environment, they might start feeling more comfortable to their day-to-day lives. And overall, it will just enrich their personality as well. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, jumping right into this harness and leash stuff, it is not as easy as said, obviously. There
is a way to kind of ease into it. You should never just put your cat on a harness and walk outside, because it is going to get spooked.
And that's dangerous too.
So you should always start indoors first. So you get your harness, you get your leash, put it on your kitty indoors and have them wear it around the house first. You don't even need to walk them, just get them accustomed to having this on, because you might notice when they first put it on, just like sometimes if you put a sweater on your kitty, or if you've ever been to the vet, when you have a little wrap on the leg after blood's drawn, cats have a tendency to kind of feel like whenever something's covered, like that limb doesn't work right. So they might not want to walk around at first with that. And the longer you have it on, the more accustomed they'll get to it, having that weight, and they'll adjust to it in the home.
They do that famous low walk thing when they get when they get the sweater or the harness first on.
Like, I can't walk, I have a sweater on.
That's really a good point. So a little bit of personal experience to share. When I was trying to sort of figure out which of my cats would be a good candidate for this, or which one is most interested and has the most energy, that is trying to, let go. One of my cats that I put the harness on, she instantly did something I call the moonwalk. And she just started walking backwards until she hit something, and kept still walking backwards until she got rid of that harness. And it was instant message to me, this cat absolutely does not like
Not happy
having
with
that
it.
thing. And then I put on my other cat, Figaro. This is years ago when he was still a young cat, and I think that's very important too, actually, if you have the
Yes, you
chance
can.
when they're young. And I put it on and he just act like nothing ever changed. But then I let it on him for a long times every day, and slowly we decided to go only a couple steps out through the door and then get back every time I put it on. Slowly that gave him a message of, oh, this is my little go out time. We didn't go too far. We didn't go to busy areas where the cars
loud
pass, or some stranger neighbor might walk by because he would be spooked. But just see which cat is the best
Fit for
cat.
it.
Yeah. But absolutely start indoors. Have them carry the harness on for a while. This is not just 5 minutes, Let them have it for an hour. It's not going to hurt them.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question though. How does your kitty respond if it sees dogs on its walk? Because I know you don't have dogs.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So when when I and Figaro go to walks, I am getting as much or even more exercise than my cat because I am more alert than he is because I'm constantly out.
Just kind of surveying.
Yeah. I'm trying to anticipate, is the guy with the dog coming my way? Is there a big truck about to make a turn to my street that's going to be really loud? All this stuff. And I always try to stay close to the areas where I can just go around the corner and be in a quieter place, especially where I live now. So I don't know really how he reacts to dogs because each time I see somebody walking a dog, I change his direction of walk. And he's really good because he's trained. When I pull him just slightly to show the direction, he really knows that we're going that way and he changes it. It's just really weird. I can't tell you how much it feels like walking a dog. Anyway, so what I was trying to say basically is be patient and have them wear it indoor for a long period of time. It's not just going to happen in one day, probably. Anyway, so that's one of the biggest tips there. It's very important. Another thing that if you want to mention is if they get too much used to it, to go out with the harness.
So we've had this issue at my house. We
Oh,
have
really?
kitties I've got 3 cats of mine who enjoy the outdoors. Now, we live on a very busy street, so we utilize the backyard. And so when I initially...
To walk on the harness?
Initially, we walked on harnesses. So Stevie is one of my kitties who was actually born with an eye condition where his vision is slightly compromised. So he loves being outdoors, but like I said, we're on a busy street and I wanted to make sure he was safe. So he's very well trained with a harness. When I put it on, he knows we go outside. My other kitty, Princess, she was a bolter. So she loves being outside too. And whenever that door would open, she would just bum rush it. And then she would immediately hide under the deck or run around the backyard, and I couldn't ever catch her.
This is with her having the harness on, or just any time?
She just decided she wanted to do, like, if the door would open, she decided she wanted to be out there with us. So we started training her with the harness and putting it on her and going out and being like, okay, we're going to go outside. We wait by the door. I'd open it slowly. So she now knows, like, we're going outside and she doesn't rush off. She'll just sit on the deck and relax and kind of like...
So she slowly exits the door instead of just
running out because she knows she's allowed to go. And like this is part of like her daily interactions and like a little treat, if you will. So they both do really well. But she definitely exhibited that behavior where she got out once and she really liked it. And then she continued to like just rush out there every time until we started kind of training her on the harness. So...
one thing I don't see on this article and experienced myself in the past was I had another cat who was also harness trained, and he had a little bit of trouble for inappropriate urination inside the house, especially because at that time there were lots of cats visiting my backyard, and he was a male and he didn't like that.
Yeah.
And with him, when we started walking him twice a day, morning and evening, he was way different than Figaro. He would actually go out, and first thing he would do is go around the house, and like a dog, he would actually urinate and mark some places and dig it and bury it and all that. And he stopped doing it inside the house.
Oh.
Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, this is life. Sometimes we will get carried away or have trips or whatever and not be able to do it. And sure enough, he would start doing. Yeah, exactly. So that's one little benefit that just came to my mind with my another cat I had in the past. That could be an answer for some people who are listening to this and try several other stuff to stop it. And a little bit of time with your cat out there. Not to mention that time you spend out there with your cat is also an extra bonding for the owner and the cat as well. So, I mean, my current cat figure, when he goes out, the first 5 minutes of our walk is not a walk. He is absolutely rolling on his back on the cement for 5 minutes, showing me all these happy moves, and then he gets up and starts sniffing bushes and grass and interact with nature. So definitely, if your cat is willing to be trained for this is absolutely something really, really wonderful as far as an option for people who have indoor cats. And I'm a strong indoor cat supporter.
But if you're going to do it safely. And this is a way to do it safely. You are with your cat. He is on a harness. You need to make sure it fits appropriately. And like Sam says, when you're on a walk, you need to anticipate those situations that might become an issue. Like you said, another dog, like be aware of where that dog is. If they see you coming, loud noises. I mean, your cat's probably, there are still things that are going to spook you. There are still things that spook me when I'm out on walks, you know what I mean? Like, you just never know what you're going to get.
And it mentions here that maybe one option is if all this noise and crowd is a problem and you don't really have a chance to do this, it could be an option also to drive your kitty in a crate somewhere remote without any loud sounds and then try to see how that harness is going on there. I remember one time we have a big park here, Bidwell Park in Northern California. I remember one time we went to a remote part of that park with Puck, our other cat, and Figaro as well, and both were leash trained. Figaro loved going outside on a leash in front of the house, but when we went to the park, he actually spooked and we couldn't do it with him. But my other cat was like, I don't care where I am, I'll go for a walk. And we actually walked with him for a while that day. Wow. So the other one had to wait in the car for a couple minutes. But you can drive definitely to remote places too.
I would start someplace quieter too, because it's it's new experience. You're going to get sensory overload. But that's kind of my thing about Stevie, because I thought about taking him out on an actual walk the other day. And I was like, but we had our dog with us, and I was like, I think I'm going to do it without the dogs if I try it. But I was just like, because he's great on the harness and he's great in the backyard, but I'm like, out on the sidewalk with dogs and other people it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. And we did not talk about types of harnesses because there's definitely some better products I've tried in the past, and there's some products that are not that safe because they're really easily getting away from it. And so what I experience, and share with me what you use too, but what I experience right now, and I like it a lot, is a harness that's covering almost half the body from the front and has two spots of really thick, wide Velcros. And they're really strong, nice Velcros. So it doesn't attach to the cat. It doesn't hurt the cat. It doesn't go around the neck or anything. So when your cat is on a leash, it's actually attached from the dorsal, like the back area of the cat. So if your cat bolts or gets spooked and runs really fast, it doesn't hurt them surrounding the neck, So what I experience is that, and I got two of those, I believe, from, we don't need to, maybe we'll get sponsors in the future, but I got them from Amazon and Chewy.com, I believe. But it's everywhere. You can find anywhere. I'm just saying the type of the harness is important. I don't know what kind of harness do you use?
I think I probably got mine from one of those two, honestly, as well. And one of them's a cat harness, and one of them is a small cat/dog harness is what it said on there. And I don't like that one as much because the neck, it slips over the neck and it clips in the back, like on the back side like yours. But the neck hole's significantly larger because it's meant for a dog. And so it's like it kind of doesn't really close around the neck as securely as I would like. So I don't use that one as often. But finding a cat, that's really important to make sure it fits well. And so I mean, if you're going to buy off the internet, just make sure you can return it.
And get the right
fit.
size. And get the right size. That's very important, because if it's too loose or too tight, that's not going to work either.
And they are, because the one harness I have only fits some of my cats. Like, it doesn't, I've got some heavier kitties, and that doesn't work with them.
Yeah. So good thing we mentioned that too, what to choose. But let's say your cat is, and not every cat is going to be a good candidate for this. Nope. We don't want you to go out with your most skittish cat and try to do this and insist on it. But let's say this didn't work out for you as planned, and you still want to take your cat out or have them some kind of experience for outdoors. Like, there are still other options there.
Yeah. So the one we probably most frequently recommend here at the hospital is a catio. Mm-hmm. An outdoor enclosure that's usually secured to your house, like through a doorway or like a little cat door or something like that. So they are enclosed, but they are safe on your property, and they have a way to come in and out on their own means. Very, very safe for them. The other option, which the doctors here and I have started is we do stroller walks. So you can actually buy pet strollers meant for cats or dogs, and
they sell actually pet strollers.
Yep, they're pet strollers. I got mine from Chewy. And there's different models, and you can get doubles. Dr. Beckman has a double. I have a single.
Can we say this is a spoiler for your future podcast cat stroller club episode?
Yes, we will have a cat stroller club, probably with Dr. Beckman. We'll discuss all our fun happenings there.
I would love to hear about it. That sounds pretty awesome. Little kitties in strollers walking around, passing some other people with their babies in strollers.
You get a lot of, is that a cat? Yep.
I even get that question when I walk my cat. I can't even imagine them being in a stroller.
Well, because it has like you can take like there's a cover, and then it's kind of got like the fish netting, not fish net, but like
it's see-through.
It's see-through, but it kind of like coats it a little bit, so you can't see super well, and so it's kind of like you kind of stare and you're just like, is that a cat? And I think that's a cat. So, but
that's pretty awesome. We'll definitely talk about that too. I've seen some pictures of it, so maybe we can share some pictures on our Facebook or website.
I'm sure I could dig them up.
Yeah. And I do have some videos of Figaro walking on leash, and you have seen those too.
Yeah, so and I plan on posting those this week, so keep an eye out.
Perfect. So we're basically at the end of our podcast episode for today, but you can listen to us on chicocats.com/podcast. or any podcast platforms you like. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you wish. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Bre, for sharing with us some information today.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.